trying to lift and being hypermobile can be a struggle for many. As somebody who is a doctor of physical therapist and doctor of physical therapy and also a hypermobile individual, I have struggled years to understand how to listen to my body, understand what it's telling me, and also give it the best things that are possible. So, going over what's in this video, some of it's personal experience, some of it's research, and some of it's my background as being a PT and helping many, many women and some men that have hypermobility with lifting and getting stronger as a whole. And so this goes back to a lot of that information. There's going to be three main points of this that will help you. The first one being going by what you feel as your rate of perceived exertion, aka your RPE. This is so key to understanding how you need to be lifting that day, what you need to be doing the next day, and giving yourself that mental ability to say, yes, this is how I'm feeling, and not, I can't believe I can't do this. And that change of thought process between beating yourself up and knowing this is the best thing for you, that's huge because one, it accepts where we are and understands our body a little bit more. And two, it doesn't say that we're failing. Because a lot of times, whenever we can't do things exactly like somebody else, we compare ourselves to them and we think that we're failing in that aspect. Now, I help people get stronger. I run online programs and I see other people lifting, and I'm like, I should be doing that too. I need to be doing this. I need to be doing that. The comparison game is at any level that you're at. And so being able to listen to my body and say, no, I'm doing the best thing for my body that it feels right now. And that is huge for understanding. Now, your RPE comes in many different aspects. What I want you to think about it is for how you're lifting and what weight is hard enough for different sets. And so if we're thinking of RPE, it's a 0 to 10 range. 10 is you cannot do any more. So you go through your reps like a 10 count of reps. And at the end of that 10 count, you can't do any more. It's done, it's tapped out. You have no reps in reserve. You struggle fiercely to do that last one with good form. It's not that you just struggle to do it and complete it. With good form is the primary thing I need you to be thinking here. Because if you can't do it with good form, then you should have stopped before because you already reached 11 and that doesn't exist in this scale. You went too far. For when it comes to more of like an 80% or an 8 out of 10, that's where you have a couple reps in reserve. You have 2 or 3 reps in reserve. And this is where you complete it. You think it's still really challenging at the end of it, but you're like, I think I could have squeezed out a couple more reps. And that's more of it's hard, it's challenging, it's difficult, type 8 out of a 10, but it's still not, I can't do anymore type of gig. The 6 out of 10, and I think thinking it in less numbers, and so hopping every 2 is helpful for my brain and accepting where I'm at. The 6 out of 10 is where you can do like 15 reps solidly. You are good to go. It is a moderate type exercise, and you've got those 15 reps going. And you may even just do 6 of that, but you could do 15 reps or so of this particular weight for this particular exercise. This is how you gauge your weights for your different exercises. This is especially important if you're doing anything where you're looking at like how you feel in different parts of your cycle, because you may feel worse whenever it comes to that you are on your period. You may feel more fatigued then. And so your RPE you would drop weight whenever you're looking at your 10 or your 8 or your 6, comparatively to if you feel really strong and energized during your cycle and you are going to up your weight then for your 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, or 6 out of 10. This also goes for your hydration, your sleep, because for hypermobility, a lot of us, we need more salt intake. We need more hydration as a whole. So up your salt, up your water intake. And this is something, if you have other issues going on, check with your doctor on some of your hydration stuff. But a lot of us, we need more than what we're actually intaking and able to use. Pickles are a great thing for that too. And so sleep is also another one. If you had a poor night's sleep, right now I have an almost 2-year-old, and some nights sleeps are great. Like we had a span 2 weeks and it was solid. Last night, not so great. And I feel more fatigued today. And so I wouldn't try to have the same weight that I would have had last week when sleep was great, hydration was good, and everything. I wouldn't be at the same load. And so understanding that my body can change based on other factors versus I'm just not good enough. I just can't mentally push myself enough. Not necessarily. It's that we need to learn. And understanding that knowing what RP is for you can take time. And you may push some days a little bit harder, and you may not push some days as hard. And you'll start figuring that balance out the more that you actually put it into play. This goes into number 2, your recovery rate. Your recovery rate is probably going to be longer than others. You need more muscles to hold your body together for the different exercises, and it sometimes can make you a little bit more sore. Same thing with how your connective tissue actually in the muscle is, and your hypermobility might be different in different muscle groups than other hypermobility in other different muscles, and between different people, obviously. And so some muscle groups you may always get sore on. Some muscle groups you may be able to work them as hard as you can, and you get more of a normal type sore that it's lasts just a couple days and then you're good to rally and go. But others, you may feel like your glutes, they may be overly sore more often. And so just know that you may have to do more things for it. And that can change how you factor in what days you stack and what kind of exercises you stack from day to day, or your RPE on one day compared to the RPE for that weight the next day. And that's how you use that to still be compliant and consistent with your exercises and your workouts, but listen and hold space for what your body is telling you from your soreness aspect and also fatigue, other aspects coming into play with it. And this goes into our last point, is that you need more accessory exercises added into your program. Besides just your main squats, your main deadlifts, your main lifts that you're doing, you need extra things. You need other band work. You need to focus on some of your other shoulder blade muscle. You need the lower trap. You need more core work than what you would think comparatively to that other programs might have included in it. And so go ahead and add those things in, or follow a program that already includes those, like some of my programs. And so those things, they keep you healthy. They keep your range of motion that you need. They don't overuse the muscle groups that are the main lifters and drivers, and they support those muscle groups. Those are the main drivers and lifters. And so you work your body more balanced and functionally instead of overusing some and being more likely to cause yourself injuries, overuse injuries, and just injuries as a whole. These are the things that you should be thinking about when it comes to your lifting programs, and to support your body and to own what you have going on in your body and in your system. And this will help you not to compare so much, not to get down on yourself, but to get stronger and to be stronger as a whole, both functionally and also with lifting those weights. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, comments, pop them down there below in the comment section, and hit subscribe if you want more of this information. Cheers, y'all.